we just got back from the movies. We saw Argylle, the Eraserhead Henry Cavil movie, spy thriller. This is a spy action comedy directed by Matthew Vaughn and looks crazy. It's got Bryce Dallas Howard, Henry Cavil, John Cena,
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. How can I not bring up Sam Rockwell, who is amazing in this film? There's not enough Sam Rockwell. After seeing this, I need more Sam Rockwell.
7 Psychopaths. You should watch 7 Psychopaths.
You should. And it has Christopher Walken.
Oh, you've seen it, yes.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Very good.
So, as far as this film goes, I'm over here looking at the critics are ripping into this one on Rotten Tomatoes. 36% right now. Let me take a picture of that. 36. There's no audience rating. That's kind of weird.
There has to be a certain amount of votes before they put them up.
Well, I guess we saw this. We did see it on Thursday. Okay, Argylle. Should you see this? Well, the critics are ripping it apart. I'll give you my opinion up front. I loved it. I thought it was creative. I thought it was engaging. It had tons of twists and turns. It was over-the-top fantasy story. This film is going to go one of two ways for you. It's just going to be too much, too over the top, too silly, and you'll be out of it, or you go in with the mindset that this is gonna be campy fun. It's, you've seen the trailers, and for me, the trailers, it basically delivers on the premise of that trailer, and even in ways that I did not expect. So it does it does rather watch like a campy, fun spy novel with twists and turns. So I thought it was good. Don't go into this thinking this is a Henry Cavill film, because this is not. This is not a vehicle for him. I mean, you think he's going to be in it more. I already prepared myself. It's like, oh, he plays a book character, and then there's a real life with Sam Rockwell. It's going to be Sam Rockwell is kind of what I was looking at. And Bryce Dallas Howard. That's essentially what we got. He was kind of very limited in that sense. But in my opinion, everybody does a wonderful job with their characters, and I now can confirm I do, in fact, have a crush on Bryce Dallas Howard. Film. I already knew I did, but this one really, really hammered it home for me. I'll watch anything with her in it. She's a real one. And I do think the film does... Okay, the film goes a little too far. It's like running across the finish line and then going like 10 to 15 feet too far. It goes just a little bit. There's one tacked on kind of thing at the end, one final reveal that I didn't think we needed at all. And in fact, it kind of spoils the achievement and kind of takes away from the characters that we do care about. We can talk about it in the spoilers. This is a film where you don't want to give away any spoilers. So I will say the film has energy. The action scenes were, filmed well. Sam Rockwell is a great actor. He needs to get more roles.
He's got an Oscar. He got an Oscar recently.
He's got an Oscar?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
He's an amazing actor.
Well,
he's the best.
I really, really like this. I have no idea why critics gave this a 30. In the 30s, I've seen... we know how Rotten Tomatoes works. It's an aggregate of people say, yeah, it's not all that great, right? And then just many people say that. But I'm going to be the one voice that says, I had a lot of fun with this one. So, what did you go... Now, let's see what you...
I'm going to say a 30, that's fucking Night Swim. Right?
Well,
that's fucking Night Swim. That is nothing.
Yeah. It's not getting a 37 out of 100. Yeah. It's just saying that 30.
But I think even Night Swim did better than this on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me look it up.
If out of 100, 70% of people give it a 5 out of 10, and then 30% of the people give it a 6 out of 10, it's going to get a 30.
So basically, it's a lot of people thought it was all right.
Yeah, a lot of. So it doesn't mean that it's terrible. It means that most people don't think it's certified fresh.
No,
I disagree. I think it is certified.
I enjoyed this film. Sam was like the highlight of it.
Yeah,
he made the jokes. The chemistry between him and Bryce Dallas was amazing.
Oh yeah.
But what kind of fell for me was like the third act.
It's so good. It's like
it is
so natural. He's like an asshole, but he's not an asshole. He does that really, really well.
He does.
Just down to earth.
But like you were saying as well, like the third act for me kind of felt too long and drawn out.
Yes.
That's what kind of lost me. I was having a great time, over the top. It was silly, whatever. Go for it. But it was just too long. It wore out its welcome.
I can't see it wearing out its welcome. That's probably what happened for critics. I was wrong, by the way. Night Swim, 22% from critics. So,
okay.
Yeah. It's they think it's better. I'm curious to see what audience. I'm going to assume audiences think that was a lot of fun, because this has a lot of crowd pleasing moments for me, for a lot of the action. That train sequence that you see a little bit in the trailer, that's almost worth going to the theater alone. I just love the song that comes up for it. I don't know what song that is, but every time I hear that song, I think of Trading Places, where Eddie Murphy is like, "Get out!" Where people are smoking and doing drugs and wrecking his house that he now owns. That scene never left my head. But that scene with the song and they play that song while everybody's beating everybody up is great. And then that's not. I thought, okay, we're probably never gonna get another good sequence in that way, and we do. We get another one, and then a third one that is very colorful. You've probably seen a little bit of it in the trailers, and I thought it was interestingly shot. So Matthew Vaughn, you don't know. He recently does, the Kingsman kind of stuff. He has his own visual style. I like it. Here he does a lot of point of view shots, and I really mean point of view. I mean like eyes opening. You even see eyelashes a lot in these shots, and it's really this is definitely at times in the perspective of the author, the girl. What's her name?
Ellie.
Yeah, her character name was Bryce Dallas Howard's character in the movie. And, we really get into her head at times in this and what's going on, being kind of thrust into this spy world and more stuff later on. It's just, I thought it was cool. And clever use of slow-mo. So anytime they do the slow-mo, there is impact there. Whereas
it's
planting seeds.
Yeah, whereas
spilling dirt.
Fucking Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Like
he used to know how to do slow-mo. That 300 shot will never leave my head.
Yeah.
But recently, he's not knowing how to use it. The slow-mo here is used well. What I can say, it's genuine, it's funny, it's entertaining, it's got the energy, and surprisingly, it's a good date movie. I think that a lot of couples, it's like a couples type movie in a way that I think the right couples are really going to love what's here. It totally works for me.
Yeah, we can't forget about Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston is always a great actor.
So many people in this.
Yeah, there's so many good people in this, but I will say, as a head of an organization kind of villain thing, I don't really buy him. He plays. We'll have to talk. He does a good job, but there's some stuff like I see Bryan Cranston, sometimes, and then sometimes he plays certain roles really well, and he does that here. We'll talk about it. Alex, what did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I like his style. This is nowhere near his best work. He's worked on so many, and I understand where the critics are coming from. Where Kingsman is tight. Kingsman 1 is tight. It's a great. It's like action. It's comedy.
That shit is serious. This is not serious. Don't go in expecting Kingsman.
This was even further than Kingsman 2. Like he got wacky in Kingsman 2, and I was so long to ride because I'm told it's a wave.
Is this the one with the Russian guy where he's dancing?
And Elton John is in it, there's all sorts of craziness happening in there. And it like his stuff is like a tidal wave, and as long as you go with it, and then it's fine. But if you try to fight it, you're gonna drown, and it's not gonna work out. And so I was along for the ride of stupid, and this movie is very stupid. And you can't think about it at all, but that's what this, like I said, this is more.
We'll think about it in spoilers because there are some stupid ones.
It's very dumb, but it's a comedy action film. It's competently shot. It's super well acted. I love Sam Rockwell, and I do think it's a good time.
Yeah,
I think the script, the energy, the actors who are totally in the role help carry the film. and all the problems that it has here and there, like going too far in some places,
far.
or being overly stupid, or saying, "Wait, if you really think about that, could that? I don't know if you could do that for that long," kind of thing. It's like But it works so well that the suspension of disbelief is there, and you don't really care because you're having a good time, and you're like, it's silly. It's supposed to be silly. Essentially, like we're reading a campy book, just like the author here, where she creates this Henry Cavil Eraserhead guy wearing a stupid costume that people cosplay. I'm like, nobody would. That guy's worse than And I was thinking, as I was looking at Henry do his best James Bond impression and his best spy impression, I was like, I don't know who his agent is. If this is doing a disservice to the campaign of Henry Cavill becoming James Bond, if now like the studio heads are like, oh, you did Argylle? No. Because you've done a parody of a James Bond. Now you don't get to be James Bond. So I don't think he's going to be in the running anymore because of this film. Yeah. But I don't think he gives a shit. He's like, and often when we figure out about stuff and readings and roles, it's already long past. So he was probably in the running for that, never happened or whatever, fell apart, and we don't have to worry
he's the right
about that
age
anymore.
Now. I think he's the right age for Bond now. He may be the wrong size for Bond.
Or who knows, maybe Hollywood operates differently, and they said, because you did this, now I can see you easier as James Bond. I think the reverse, because he's definitely playing the James Bond type character over the top. Anyways, overall, I enjoy. Let's go with final verdicts, and then we can jump into a large spoilers. While I don't think that this film is going to do well at the theaters. I was already seeing some articles saying, ticket sales are not that great or whatever. And I was like, honestly, I didn't really see this marketed at least in my area very well. So
I forgot this movie was going to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than it being Henry Cavill's film that comes out after the fact that he lost the Superman job, I mean, what is it? Matthew Vaughn, does he really have that kind of draw anymore? It's not Kingsman, so it's not something that mass audiences are familiar with. I don't think it will do as well as Kingsman, so I think it probably won't be a box office hit, but I don't really care.
Apple paid for it, and it's win-win.
Oh, that's right. It is an Apple.
If Apple loses a bunch of money on it, great. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Or they'll just put it on their streaming service, and it'll probably do well. I think this is the kind of movie that actually will have decent legs.
Yeah.
Because it is a fun. This is the kind of thing that I think
streaming thing.
Yeah, it's a good streaming thing. I think mass audiences.
But
are
I
gonna
do
like
think
it.
you should go to theaters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's pretty good.
So they do have an after credits scene. So stupid. We're going to have to talk about this. I'll just say right now, Matthew Vaughn has great ambition, okay? He's an ambitious guy, and you're precious. You're just precious. Moving on. We'll talk about it.
What are you talking about?
We'll talk about it in spoilers.
Apple's got a lot of money, and so
Apple's got a lot of money. I don't think it's going to do well, but take it from me, if you go in with the right mindset, dumb spy fun. If you like Sam Rockwell, if you like Bryce Dallas Howard as much as I do, you're going to really enjoy this film. Okay? What do they call it? Let's do the whirly bird.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If you need to practice that dance anymore, just call me up. We'll do the whirly bird. And that's an ongoing joke and a good one in the film. So we'll go into spoilers now. Thank you so much for watching. Check out
final verdicts.
I didn't even get the final verdicts. Let's go.
For me, I really enjoyed this one. You should check it out. I was gonna go to an 8, but again, the third act kind of fell for me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So more of at a 7. I had a great time.
Ooh, okay.
It was still enjoyable watch. I loved the chemistry between them. Sam nailed it. Yeah, just like at the end, I was kind of getting bored.
The end lost you at the end. It went too much. It's like we've seen this. You're doing it again.
Yeah, and I'm trying to without
and then
spoilers.
you do it, and then you do another thing, and I'm like, that wasn't necessary.
Exactly.
And even me, that was fully invested, so I see where a lot of critics jumped off or whatever. They probably weren't. They probably lost halfway in it, and by then they were like, "Oh no, fuck you! Now we're going down to 30."
Yeah, it's like no.
But for me, I was like, you know what, Precious. All right. Yeah, just go. Just hurry up. When I rewatch it, I'll skip this last part, but we're good.
Yeah, without getting into spoilers, some of it kind of like didn't need to happen, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that I actually thought the first half of this movie was actually really solid. And then I was like, okay, all we have to do is wrap this up and it's get going. Okay, cool, big action set piece.
You had it.
Wow, that was way too long. We're going into another huge action set piece. Wow, this one is like 4 times as long as it needs to be. Like, holy shit, someone needs to just be like, Matthew, buddy, you did it. You have
you got a great film, Matthew. You're indulging. What is it called?
It's self-indulgent.
Self-indulgent.
All he needed was someone to be like, hey, man, we need to cut this down a little bit because the runtime
when you
is...
make it tighter, people want to rewatch.
Yeah, and it does. It just drags ass. And then even at the very end of the movie, the thing that they're setting up just drags ass. And it's like, how do you... Like, you just fucked it up. And, like, everything is good.
Yeah.
It's just they just kind of flubbed the ending a little bit, but I do think it's a dumb. I mean, it's fucking dumb, but it's so fun that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 7.
So perfect. Yeah. Even the end, like Alex was saying, the end credits. It's like, get to the point. I know. It's like you're setting. No one cares what you're setting up here. You are way more excited than what is being shown on screen. So okay, I am gonna go with, like I said, because. Like, I was excusing it a lot more because I already had so much fun. I was already done, but it did take it down points as well for me. So y'all both going 7. I'll go 8. 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again. I think it's success. I'm happy that Henry is like, great. It's like, is this going to be one that's bad for Henry's career? It's like Hollywood wants to throw him away. They don't care about, it's like, oh, look, you're in this that did terrible or it was a shitty film.
This next one looks really good, though.
Yeah.
What was it called? We saw a trailer. What was it called?
It's
the
a new
War
guy.
of an Ungentlemanly Warfare?
Yeah.
The Club of Ungentlemanly, something like that. That looks good, too. So I'm happy. And whether this one does, buku bucks at the box office, I don't care because I thought it was fun. And you should go out and see it if you like spy thrillers, any of those things that we said. And, yeah, we will see you in the spoiler section. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Hey, welcome to the spoiler section for Argylle. So, man, there's a lot. There's a lot of twists and turns that were wonderful, but let's go directly to the end since we were talking about it so much. You fucked it up at the end. You didn't need, we had so many action sequences already, and I think we had a great one at the end. Oh, my God. There's just so much to talk about. So turns out that the author, this Bryce Dallas Howard, the character she's playing, is deep undercover. She has amnesia, and it turns out that she, in fact, is a spy as well. Okay? And then she starts to regain her spy powers and shit. And then it's a double cross, and then it's a triple cross, and then it turns out she was the bad guy back then, but was she really? Maybe not. Maybe she was thinking about getting out. And it turns out that this agent that shows up to protect her turns out Sam Rockwell's character, who, seems to be a funny, quirky protector, turns out to be a love interest that they had a relationship before they went in. And as the film comes together, she has to pretend to betray him, shoots him in the chest, when they're all tied up and everything, and she's acting evil, but she shoots him just right because of the fucking email some fan sent her that said, you should put this in your book where there's a little area of the heart that's you can put a bullet through and everything's fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. God damn it, just fine. Just make that a one-off joke. But what I hated is they didn't make it a one-off joke. It was a big thing and a big reveal at the end. Anyway, so they have them be this couple, and they're trapped in a gun room, and they need to get out of this spy base. We don't really know what it is yet. Turns out to be an oil tanker, but they get out of the spy base, and they said on the other side of this room, they did a joke about, do you want to dance before? And didn't really get to dance. Well, they did get to dance, actually. But they do another dance, this time as a rehabilitated couple, so to speak, or they're back together. And It's a wonderful sequence. It's fun. That's what I'm saying. Couples will like this movie. They come out, guns or everything, and the visuals, the smoke is colored.
Yeah.
I don't know why the smoke is purple and pink and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just a visual style. Yeah. And it was great. And I was like, okay, that's fun. And, they do the James Bond spy thing. They've got goggles that they can see them and the other guys don't. Obviously, if they have the goggles, the other guys would have the goggles too. There's so many fucking plot holes. And then at the very end, Bryan Cranston's like, press the button to evacuate the smoke after all of his guys are already dead. Stuff like that. But it doesn't matter because we had so much fun. Now, that sequence was such a triumph. It was so silly. They're doing spins. They're doing a choreographed dance that would be impossible to shoot all these people simultaneously. So it's this huge release and climax, and you're like, bravo, well done. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Let's go home.
But
Great
wait,
film.
There's more.
But wait, there's more. What if we have another battle on the top of an oil tanker?
In the oil room of the oil
that's
tanker.
right. I can't even believe I forgot
knives
that.
on the
How
bottom.
can I
Ice
forget
skating.
this?
And it lasts for like
Ice skating.
15
Come
This
on.
is the
Minutes.
one where I'm sure everybody dropped off, but I said, you know what? The girls in the audience are going to fucking love this ice skating. And I actually, I love ice skating. I'm a Texan, and they have like one ice skating ring out here, right, Chappelle, or whatever it's called. And, I fuck it up, but then I start to get, and I have some kind of natural ability. And so when I was seeing the sequence, I liked it. But I could see many people be like, man, I'm fucking out.
You can keep it. It can't be 15 minutes
Right.
long. And
It was very long.
You have to trim these things down because after a while they start to overstay their welcome. They start to retread the same thing because she's ice skating. She's got knives on her feet. And you just go, fine, it's fine. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's fine.
We get
it's
it.
fine. It's fine.
Right? She should have
But then
done.
they said nobody's shooting, and she shoots everyone.
And then she,
But like Alex, thank you, Joe. Like Alex said, like do 3 or 4 loops. She does like 12 loops.
It's so long, and there's a really cool scenes. Like she puts a bayonet on a thing, and she
loved it.
jumps and stabs a dude. Who's like, "This is awesome."
Okay.
But then the scene goes for
much.
10 more minutes. It's like
much.
fucking
Yeah.
stop.
And then the thing that Joe said at the end, it's like, okay, we get it. Oh, they call in, stop firing. It's oil. You're going to fucking blow up the whole fuck. And they're, okay, we'll stop firing. And then at the end, Bryan Cranston sees all of his guys dying. He's like, I don't care. Just shoot her. And I'm like, okay, I buy that. That's fine. But nobody ends up, but it was just written to allow the good guy to start shooting.
Yeah.
She must have heard, I don't know, she doesn't have the earpiece. And nobody shoots at her, but she just takes it as it's said for the audience.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me. And then she does the spinning. Because obviously, when you go through all the effort, Alex and Joe and audience, of setting up this fucking scene and putting oil everywhere and skating, you want to do, you're like, you know what else would be cool? If she does one of those spins at the end that we see them all do and she fires. But they're like, but you already did that. I don't care. I'm already spending all this money. It doesn't take but 5 or 10 more minutes. But the thing is, it goes a little
That's
too
the
long.
difference between a good director and a good editor and a great director and a
You'll
great
lose
editor is when you
people.
know
Yeah.
the limit and you're like, look, I know how awesome this is, but I've had a bunch of other things that are awesome and I need to pare it down.
And I agree with you. And so she spins around, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe I almost forgot about that. So then you're out by then. And then they come out. I'm like, all right. Now we good? No, we ain't good. We go on the top of the fucking, oil tanker. And then at the last minute, we forgot. Where's the doctor? The doctor,
She goes to go to the little mainframe. and then
We forgot about
Bryan
that. Bryan
Cranston
Cranston
shows up with the shotgun.
Yeah.
And then Argylle jumps
So then
and lunges at
You're
him.
right. Oh my God, Joe. So there are 4 going too far things. I'm over here thinking there's 2 going too far things.
No.
There's actually 6. We'll count them. Okay,
that
so
keeps going.
some people might be out at the fucking dance sequence, and I'm like, bro, if you're out of the dance sequence, get the fuck out of the theater. You didn't even deserve to be here. You're just Groucho, right? And then the ice skating.
Sure.
It's like, okay, I can see it went too
maybe,
long. Maybe. Okay.
I don't
Now we
know.
go to a scene where Bryan Cranston is like,
With a
they
shotgun.
won, everybody's dead, and he's like, I gotta do it myself. I'm like, you're Bryan Cranston, you're not Thanos. But he gets his shotgun and sneaks up behind them as they're inputting the codes and uploading the data. And he goes, ha, you have to have my eyes to scan it. And they turn around and he's like, now you're dead. And just as he's about to shoot,
he monologues for a while, and it's just like
it does the tropey thing, right? And you allow these things, but you don't allow 7 of them in a row, right? So then the cat, this whole cat that's been a fun thing throughout the whole film. It's like, is the cat gonna do something? Is it just a CGI effect for fun? Yes, but here the cat jumps out, saves the good guys by scratching him up, and I don't buy it. I think it's stupid, and I love cats as much as the next person, but this was like, all right, I will allow it. Again, I will allow it because I had fun.
We needed his
and
eyes,
they said, why your cat scratched his eyes
Yeah.
out, so now we have to do the manual upload. I didn't even hear them when they said this part
we had to go
because
to
this part
satellite.
is stupid.
we have to go. There's a satellite where we can do it without his eyeballs. It's
Why even have that?
So yeah. Okay.
So again, then there's another thing, right? So you have that. So then they go to the top, and they're uploading the data from a satellite. They realize it's an oil rig, and there's just on the in the Titanic, that little fucking area, the poop deck. That's not the poop deck, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so then the doctor comes out, and she's got the motherfucking music box because this agent who, was bad, ended up killing the hacker that got all the information everybody's after. And by killing that hacker, he had a explosive set up, which blew up. She got thrown into the water. And when she woke up, Bryan Cranston's character and the doctor manipulate her with some psychoanalysis and telling her that Bryan Cranston is the father and this doctor is the mother. And that's what I'm saying. I don't really buy Bryan Cranston as the villain, but I buy him as the dad. He does the good dad.
Yeah. He can do both. Like I loved him in Malcolm in the Middle, and I loved him in Breaking Bad. But it's not when he's playing the villain. It's like I need more bite from him because I know it's there, and it just was.
He was kind of playing a soft, kind of thing. Yeah. This is not Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston. This is squeaky clean kind of thing. But anyways, so the doctor plays this music box and says a few words, and Manchurian Candidate activates, and she can control his Bryce Dallas Howard's character. And so she starts attacking Sam Rockwell, which I need to get these fucking character names.
Yeah, and
Go ahead,
so they fight for a long time, and Sam Rockwell quickly realizes he's like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to do anything. And she keeps twisting the thing because anytime the music stops, she realizes
Aiden versus Ellie.
Yeah, and he doesn't attack the doctor. He doesn't even attempt to go over to the doctor. He just immediately says, "You know what? I give up."
Throw his fucking shoe at the doctor. Yeah. I don't know.
And then so he literally puts his hands behind his back and goes, "I'm not going to fight you." And she's going to kill him. And she punches him in the throat. And then she's going to kill him. And then they have
a reoccurring joke where she smashes heads because when she was her persona of the author and so timid and cute and lovely, he wanted her to smash heads, and they're setting up this scene where now that she knows how to smash heads, she's going to smash his head. Right then, somebody knocks out with a wrench, knocks out the doctor.
It's super unsatisfying.
Instantly, she stops. And it is extremely unsatisfying.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Alex.
It's just this character out of left fucking field, and they kind of, sort of, hinted.
No,
but
I don't want.
Yes, I mean they did.
No, right? It's out of left field. It's too far. It's too buried.
Yeah, I mean it's very, very buried. I mean the clues are there, but then you're like, how the fuck did you get here? What is this thing? And it was really you had a layup, and you had fumbled, you bungled everything for the last half hour, and then I was like, cool, we're gonna tighten it up. Now it's gonna be over. And
I just hated this.
And
part.
then it wasn't good.
So it turns out Kira, who you're like, who the fuck is Kira? I know, right? Apparently, in the beginning when they're doing the fun little spy stuff,
her story.
Yeah, Henry Cavil is doing his spy shit. He's doing the James Bond stuff, and his ride is another agent, and it's a female agent, and it's Kira. But as he jumps in, fucking Dua Lipa, Dua Lipa comes out, and she sprays machine gun fire. And did you see Henry take a Jeep Wrangler door and hide behind the Jeep Wrangler door, and then you see all those bullet holes? Man, that endorsed paper. Henry's dead. Anyways, the chick is dead in there, and that was Kira, and she was an agent. Well, you think, oh, it's just a throwaway character in a book. Turns out that everything that Ellie wrote was real. And so there was an agent named Kira, and it was her friend or whatever, and she died in real life. And then they do this whole thing with this fan plot line, and it turns out that Kira was the fan that sent her the idea of shooting somebody in the chest with the little hole there that you can survive.
She said, I knew that you had been brainwashed, and so what I wanted to do was see, and then her motivation is I wanted to see my character come back, not I wanted to contact you in some way and know that you've been, programmed by the evil villains. None of that stuff, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? And
wouldn't Kira maybe be evil
At this
too?
point,
Because
Alex, I just wanted the
she was
movie to
evil.
end.
Because
I just
Ellie was
I just wanted it to
right,
end.
and it's like, what are
I'm
we
like,
doing
come on,
here,
guys? Let's wrap
Why
this
are we
up.
giving Kira a hero moment? She hasn't been in the film. You're taking away from the characters doing really cool stuff and solving the situation themselves. We don't need to be like, don't worry, the girl didn't die. Oh, that plucky female agent. Don't worry, she's not dead. Are you okay? Are you crying? No.
Yeah.
People die. Agents die. It makes way more emotional impact if she did die.
Everyone on that tanker, even the people who weren't, people who were just running the tanker, died.
Died.
They killed,
So what
they
are we
killed everyone.
doing?
They blew up the Death Star. There were people that were not, evil on the Death Star.
It
It felt
they're just
like
maintenance
some
going-
sort of weird, I don't know, quota that they had to fill or something.
Maybe they have the
It was
actress.
dumb.
They're like, hey, when we do the prequel series or we do the sequel series or we do.
She'll be a side character.
She'll-
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So then they give her credit, and she's like, I was hiding on the ship the whole time. Why? What were you what was your plan?
I hacked their mainframe and I knew that you had been
Once
captured.
She
And
was
it's like,
captured. She's like, all right, now I got to get over here and help. And
So when we were doing the dance shooting and we could have died, you just didn't help at all.
or if you could hack their mainframe and figure all that stuff out, couldn't you have leaked that information to everyone who needed to get leaked to, and no one needed to do this in the first place?
I hated it. So I understand
Stop
why
thinking
people
about it,
died. It was
Alex.
too much. It
Don't
was
think
too
about
much. So that little fight sequence, you know what? We could keep that little fight sequence. We could keep the Manchurian sequence if we shorten it down.
Just shorten them.
And then let those two characters, Ellie and Aiden, resolve it on their own. We don't need Kira, okay? At all. At all. And so while they're uploading the satellite to give the information to Samuel L. Jackson character, who was a former director, CIA, a good guy who got out and is trying to fight the directive or whatever the bad guy organization is called. They finally finish uploading it. They save the day, and they get out, and they go on a boat, and they're driving off in the boat, and they start kissing and mooching, and then the scene fades. Just like the beginning of the movie where she was having these delusions of Sam Rockwell's character turning into Henry Cavil because, her mind... I was half expecting to see, I don't know about you, Alex, to see Henry Cavill and John Cena just start kissing and making out. Because it turns out...
I was expecting a comedy thing.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, because he's like,
That'd have been
that's me.
hilarious.
I was like, okay.
I
that's
wonder
her.
if it's there on the cutting room floor. I don't think they probably would actually kiss. Maybe they did a fake thing where it came real close and then it turned into the other characters, right? It was fun
I
because
honestly was thinking
nobody
that
knew
too.
that it's like, well, wait a minute. So Henry Cavill had this partner, and he's a big muscle dude. Where did this guy go? If you're writing all the stories and they're all real, well, it turns out that it was Sam Rockwell, that he was the guy in the Hawaiian shirt, just not as muscly, but she thought him as strong, and so that's why he had big muscles.
It's like, well, thank you. You thought of me.
Yeah, I like
man,
that.
if he can effortlessly
See,
do
the
the whirly
film
bird,
is
he's strong.
genuine in those kinds of ways. There needed to be a kiss scene. I think it would have been funny. Anyways,
funny.
so. And then right off into the sunset, they have an extra scene where, since they completed it, there's no more missions. She even says that in her book. And she's writing, there's no more missions, and right off into the sun. And that's her story as well. It has become her story. And then they do this thing where it's like, everybody's happy. And it's like, what happened to the characters at the end? And she's like, okay, well, this person became famous. Kira, Steve Jobs, shut the fuck up. Kira is so smart. She makes inventions for the directive. She started making them for herself.
Well, you have
and
to
got
because
rich.
it's fucking Apple. Because Steve Jobs didn't do inventions. He
I
was
just realized. I was like, why?
We have to jerk off the ghost of Steve Jobs because Apple paid for this movie.
It was such a weird inclusion, and I forgot. That's exactly.
Apple paid for it, so you got to do it. Jerk him off. It's like, oh my god, it's weird. Jerk him off more.
Probably, definitely required in this script. Yeah. Then Samuel L. Jackson got some awards, medals, and shit, and everybody lives happily ever after, and. Sam Rockwell's character, Aiden, is still allergic to cats, but they're all together. The cat's fine. And then at the very end, this other character is like, I get a question, and it's like, it's Henry Cavil, only like a redneck. Like a redneck fan, and he's got dip in it. Like, yeah, I got a question.
He's got a mullet.
I don't have a question for you per se, but maybe you'd like to ask me some questions, because he looks exactly like the Argylle character. Yeah. I don't know what they're implying here. I think it was just a funny joke. Yeah. Ha ha he he.
She had met him, and he's an agent, or
they're not really gonna set anything up if there's a sequel with him, or maybe they are. I think it was just ha ha he he. Now the thing is, then it ends, and then after the credits, we go to a bar that says The King's Man. They're in the fucking bar, and there's this young British asshole who is doing some secret words to the bartender, and this bartender asshole is like, I understand your language, here's your little gun, and it's fucking stupid. I don't even know what they're talking about. How does it factor in here?
I think that's the Argylle book one.
Right?
You're trying to you're trying to tie in the Kingsmen into the Argylle universe, into the author's Argylle universe, and I guess saying that this is the young Henry Cavill as he is becoming an agent. What did you get yourself into? And then at the very end, it shows a poster. It says, the real Argylle movie, book one, coming soon. It's like, you mean a movie in their universe, like Ellie and Aiden's universe? They're making a movie of it? Or are you talking about Matthew Vaughn starting to make real Argylle movies of the fake Argylle in the movie Argylle? You're going to start making movies of the fake book that you created for that. Shut up! It's annoying. Nobody thinks that it's cool, and I can't wait for that thing to come out because those are all new actors, all new characters. Nobody gives a shit about any of them. So what are you doing except for sniffing your own farts? And it was embarrassing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, because Matthew Vaughn produces a lot of movies. I imagine that he's going to sell this idea to Apple. They'll have some brand new director, a bunch of all no-name cast people. They'll get that girl, so Kira comes back.
It's a TV series.
Yeah, so it's got to be.
I just realized the Apple tie-in. It's going to be like the Continental on Peacock. Yeah. This is going to be Argylle on.
It makes sense from Matthew Vaughn's perspective because he gets to sell it. He gets to produce it like he does most of his other projects, and just sells them an idea and be like, "Hey, and that I'll jerk off the Ghost of Steve Jobs on that one too."
A young Henry Cavil. Too. Yeah. So, yeah. We covered kind of like the third act. Anything from the first and the second act?
No, that's a solid thing. Yeah, and so it's like in the first act of the movie, obviously she doesn't know that she's an agent, and Sam Rockwell's not telling her that she's an agent because he's like, look, we eventually find out it's because he worries that her psyche is delicate, and so he's like, hey, I need you to predict all of this stuff, and like she's like, that's stupid, and then you as the audience are like, yeah, that's stupid, but you suspect it's going somewhere, and the payoff actually is good.
Yeah.
And so she starts to like piece things together, and she's doing it with the aid of her memory, and it's pretty solid.
And like Joe said, the chemistry is there. And so the lines are great. And when a movie's like, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what about, and then the movie says it itself, you're like, all right, I like this. Okay. It's that kind of good stuff that's in there during that first act and second act. There was one thing, I wanted the boy, so she's an author and she doesn't want, people hit on her, and she's like, no, I'm married to my work and I don't have time for that. And before the shit goes down, this attractive guy comes. I don't know. The movie thinks he's attractive. I didn't think he was that attractive. He's got glasses on, and he's like, hey, and he's like a nerd, or it looks like a very well-studied man. And I was thinking, okay, she declines him, and she's like, that seat's taken because, she's timid or scared or whatever. Yeah. He's like, all right, all of a sudden he goes on. I'm like, oh, man, that guy's going to be an assassin. It turned out He was an assassin, right? Or did I miss that?
No, I don't.
He's not an assassin. In fact, at one point he was like, "Hey, you're lost again." I'm like, "Shut the fuck! What are you doing?"
Wait, no, that guy's your type. Is
yeah, that guy is your type.
Is that her husband or something? Because it almost felt like it's like this is someone's.
It felt weird because it was like he was this character that was injected, and they didn't use him in any way.
No.
Yeah, it was just weird. I mean, they could have just said it. You know, they programmed her. It's like no love interest because it's gonna fuck up her plan. But
okay, so that was all about that. Yeah, and then the way they get out of this train is she hugs him tight, and they fly off. I'm like, man, shit, like you better have a contingency plan. You better not drop Bryce Dallas Howard. I'll kill you. Because if she got scared and she fell,
he
then
buckles
maybe
her. I think he reaches around and buckles her.
Oh,
and then,
yeah, she passed out.
Yeah,
I
I just
there's no
remember
way.
that. Yeah, she passes out. So if she would have fallen
he's
off,
very strong.
He is.
Well, Sam Rockwell's not that big. He's not like a John Cena.
He full like lifts her up in whirly birds.
Yeah,
like that guy in the movie is built.
Oh, so we talk about the whirly bird. So at the beginning, you've seen it in the trailer. Dua Lipa, does she's got her JJ in your face and she's spinning
thighs
around.
Earmuffs, man. That's
And hey, look, I don't know who that girl is. She's a singer or something. She is an attractive fucking.
She's
lady.
got almost $1 billion. She's like,
and she's rich.
Oh, crazy rich.
She's that attractive and that rich.
Yeah.
Some people, man, they got it all. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Well, and she's supposed to be because this is like the stylized fantasy version. Henry's super attractive. She's super attractive.
Now that haircut, though.
No, that was really bad. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, this is one of the candidates for James Bond. He doesn't sound.
I don't know why they have to do him dirty.
They did him dirty.
How
they
old
did
is
him
Henry
dirty.
now? Is he 40 yet?
40.
Yeah.
So he's so James Bond's supposed to be like 40, 45.
Yeah. As you
like,
get older, he's getting better. So like, just do it. Yeah. Anyways, but then they do that joke again where it's Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard, and he gets very, very jealous.
Yeah, I mean, they also
do that move.
they hint that
they do it a third time, and it's reversed.
It's reversed, yeah.
She is holding him up, and he's got his crotch in her face, as he's shooting.
As you do,
Yeah, as you
but there's hints that that's all in their head because Bryan Cranston
Yes!
is looking
Did you
at
see that?
is looking at the screen, and they're just kind of like awkwardly spinning, and so like this is like they're in love, they're connecting, and so it's like okay, that's cool. It's a Matthew Vaughn
like
thing.
that you picked up on that Easter egg. That is nice. And I was like, I wonder if that was intentional because while they're doing the spinning, the very next shot is Bryan Cranston looking at them on the monitor, and they're just simply
spinning in circles. But
and I was like,
they're in
oh.
love, and there's colors.
That's either an editing mistake, or they were like, people won't notice it, or this is a different part, or it's actually intentional.
Yeah.
Anyways, anything else? The cat.
I was gonna say, I thought the cat was gonna be more
important.
Yeah,
The trailer implied that it was all about
it was
the cat.
Gonna be some kind of secret to do with the cat. But it was
well,
not
the
there.
key. No, that's actually super clever. The secret with the cat is big. Argylle. The name Argylle is her. She is the secret agent.
Yeah, her name is like
her name
Rachel.
It's
Argylle.
Yeah.
Rachel Kyle.
So that's why they were saying this cat Argylle is the.
Well, the cat's name's on Argylle. The
It's,
cat's
name
no,
was,
it's,
the same name as
Sam's-
Samuel Jackson's
Sam's-
character is the same name.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, yeah, they do a CGI cat multiple times. You can't be throwing around real cats like that.
No.
It just looked fakey. It was there for cuteness level. I don't know why the cat had to fly back up and do the stupid trailer shot for the trailer shot and then
that's
fall
why.
back down.
do you
Sam
feel,
Rockwell, I got mad at him a few times. If you're an animal lover, you're probably going to get mad at it a few times. He drops the fucking cat just to test to see if there's a crash pad down there. And then another time...
they were gonna die. I mean, he's like, look, that has to be a crash pad, or we are going to die. Yeah, and so he also knows that she knows more.
And cats can handle it because they always land on their feet.
Yeah.
And then Bryan Cranston shoves the fucking cat off the table when he turns into his evil persona while faking being the dad. And when he's discovered, I heard the audience go, they were mad.
No one abuses, but he does knock it off the counter. No one is abusing the animal for it.
I did like the we didn't even talk about Kevin McAllister's mom.
Catherine O'Hara.
Home Alone. She did a good job. And when she turns from the mother to the evil
British doctor.
British doctor, and they use slow motion. Mom, what the fuck? I thought that was a great little scene there. Okay. Anyways, going too long. I'm trying to make these quick. That's why I cut y'all. Anyways, thank y'all so much. I think it was great. You should watch it. It's fun, entertaining. Even see it in theaters. Help it out. Help our boy Henry. If not, definitely watch it if it comes out on stream. You know what sucks? It will come out on streaming, but it'll be on Apple. I'm not gonna buy it unless they're going to have to add like 3 series. I can't believe I didn't cave and do Monarch. It's because I knew Monarch was just humans. Yeah. It was like 1 episode of monsters. I'll eventually see it.
We got our dose of Godzilla. We don't need it.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. In fact, I got a little present downstairs. I just got it in. So it'll make its debut in our Godzilla Cross Kong review whenever that movie's supposed to come out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.